Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the webinar. I think we'll get started now. My name is Megan Marr. I am the Associate Director of Admissions and Marketing for the LLM and International Programs at Northeastern University School of Law, which is located in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm going to start by first giving a brief overview of higher education in the United States, and then I'm going to talk more specifically about legal education in the U.S. and pursuing a Master of Laws, or LLM. So higher education in the United States can be summed up by choice, exploration, and flexibility. There are over 4,000 accredited higher education institutions in the U.S. These vary in size from small colleges to larger universities. U.S. colleges and universities offer liberal arts education as well as more specialized programs and schools. The U.S. itself is a diverse country in terms of geography, climate, and culture. Studying in the U.S. is an opportunity not just to explore your academic interests, but also to explore yourself. Studying in the U.S. there's also academic flexibility in terms of changing your field of study or even transferring to another university. U.S. colleges and universities take a holistic approach to admissions, and there's also a global acceptability to employers worldwide in terms of a U.S. education. So understanding the differences with the U.S. educational system, it is a decentralized system. In other words, there are no uniform requirements for university entry. There are no direct college entry exams. The SAT, GRE, and LSAT, these are not entry exams. Rather, they're one piece of criteria that's considered for admission. And there's also no specific requirements for academic achievement. And to put this into context, the application, evaluation, and student selection process are all subjective. U.S. universities use a holistic application review for admission and take information into consideration beyond academics. In terms of subjective admission decision-making, universities will admit a wide range of students and look to intentionally build student community and foster learning inside and outside the classroom. Two main sources of information that are used in admissions decisions, there's quantitative or hard data, which would include academic records, such as grades, as well as standardized test results. And then there's qualitative, which would be, might include a student's personal narrative. So the key to choosing a U.S. university is finding the one that's right for you. Determining what you are looking for in a university or educational program and defining your specific goals can help you find the fit that's best. Remember that not every university is the best fit for every student, and not every student is the best fit for every university. First, the best way to find the program that does fit you is to know yourself. You should think about your overall student experience, what you would like your overall student experience to be, as well as what you'd like to gain from an academic program. In determining the best fit, you should consider such things as your goals and aspirations, your values and beliefs, your likes and dislikes, as well as your lifestyle preference. It's not only about an academic program, but also about your experience. Once you've defined what you want, then you should find a college or university that meets your expectations and needs. You should assess the opportunities that each college would provide to you. Take into consideration things such as academics. This would include programs, opportunities for research, academic network. You might also want to think about extracurricular activities. Think time after class, the people and the culture around you. And then, of course, you also want to think about your career opportunities, what you'd like 5 to 10 years into the future. So now that I've given a brief overview of higher education in the U.S., I'm going to talk more specifically about the legal education in the United States and a Master of Laws degree and how it can advance your legal career. So first, some backgrounds about the legal education system. In most countries, a first law degree is an undergraduate degree. In the United States, however, a first law degree is a professional graduate program, which requires an undergraduate degree for admission. Law school in the U.S. typically takes 3 years. There's 1 year of required foundational courses, which would include subjects such as contracts, tort, civil procedure, and property. With few exceptions, all first-year students take these required courses. Then the final 2 years of the law degree is spent taking elective courses where students can take more specific or specialized legal topics. Students then graduate with a Juris Doctor or a JD. Now, a JD alone is not enough to practice law in the U.S. You must also pass a bar examination. The degree allows students to sit for a bar exam, and every state in the U.S. has its own bar and its own bar exam. Law graduates take the bar exam for the jurisdiction where they plan to practice, and for the most part, you may only practice law in the jurisdictions where you have been admitted to the bar. So the different types of law degrees. JD, there's 2 routes with the JD. There's the 3-year JD, which requires a bachelor's degree in a non-law subject, and students are usually required to submit the LSAT test or sit for the LSAT exam. And then there's something that many programs have called the Advanced Standing JD. The Advanced Standing JD typically takes 2 years and is open to applicants who already have a first law degree in another country. Students admitted to an advanced standing program will receive credit for their prior legal coursework. How much credit a student receives will vary by law school. Generally, advanced standing applicants are not required to submit an LSAT score, and a 2-year advanced standing JD is essentially the same as a 3-year JD, and graduates are able to sit for a bar examination in any jurisdiction. And then finally, we have a Master of Laws degree, which is typically 1 year, although the length will vary by program, and applicants must have a first law degree. So to talk a little bit more specifically about the LLM, what is an LLM? Law graduates who want to study further after their first degree, either JD, LLB, or equivalent, have the option to pursue a Master of Laws. Some LLMs offer the opportunity to specialize or concentrate in a particular area of the law in order to gain specific expertise. For example, LLM Programs in taxation is a highly specialized LLM program. The second type of LLM is a general LLM, or one that focuses on American law or the American legal system. These LLM programs are most often geared towards those who receive their first law degree outside of the United States. So why should you consider an LLM? Well, it provides numerous professional benefits and can help you advance your legal career. They can upgrade your educational credentials. It provides you with international experience. You can become a global learner. Increase your knowledge of the law and develop skills that will help you effect change in your own country and region. Learn about U.S. law in a diverse environment with lawyers from all around the world. You'll be able to participate in advanced legal research. Develop a specialization in areas such as health law, energy law, human rights, economic development, maritime law, environmental law, or business law. You'll also have the opportunity to get practical experience from institutions that might offer law clinics or experiential learning programs. And finally, one of the most popular reasons to pursue an LLM is to qualify to sit for a U.S. bar exam. Now, qualifying for a U.S. bar exam. It is possible for foreign-trained lawyers to sit for bar exams without a JD degree in certain U.S. jurisdictions. These include the states of New York, Massachusetts, and California, as well as the District of Columbia. However, each jurisdiction has its own restrictions and requirements. An LLB from another country combined with an LLM from an accredited U.S. law school may suffice, so long as the LLM curriculum includes all the courses required by the bar examiners in that particular jurisdiction. In addition, some jurisdictions have different requirements for applicants with undergraduate law degrees from common law countries as opposed to civil law countries. And some jurisdictions require that applicants already be admitted to practice law in their home country in addition to the educational requirements. So there are more than 130 LLM programs offered by U.S. law schools. So with so many programs, how do you find the one that is best for you? Choosing the right LLM program. There are a number of factors that you might want to consider when looking for the LLM program that best fits your needs. Determine first what you are hoping to gain professionally and personally from pursuing an LLM. Are you looking to gain expertise in a particular area of law? Then you might want to consider whether the program offers concentrations. the depth and breadth of academic offerings and the classes that are offered, as well as the faculty expertise and their areas of interest. Are you looking to qualify for a U.S. bar exam? Then you should certainly determine if the programs you're interested in will allow you to sit for a bar exam. You may also want to look at the availability of academic support services and the individualized counseling that you might receive with each program. Some LLM programs offer academic support specifically for LLM students, while some law schools may have the same academic support services for JD and LLM students. Other programs offer English language support as well. So you want to think about the type of experience that you want to have, whether you would like to have individualized support and counseling, and then look into those different options in the different LLM programs. Are you looking to gain hands-on experience through your LLM studies? Then you'll certainly want to consider the availability of experiential learning opportunities. These would include clinics where students might work directly with clients under the supervision of an attorney or law professor. Some programs also offer the option of participating in internships or externships, where students might gain experience by working in a legal setting. Ask yourself also what you would like your LLM experience to be like in terms of your quality of life. Would you prefer to attend school in a large city or in a smaller community? Is there a particular geographic area of the United States that you would like to live in? Do you prefer a warmer climate as opposed to an area where it's very cold during the winter? Does the law school offer on-campus housing, or will you need to find your own housing off campus? Does the university have a large number of international students? These are all things you should take into consideration when you are picking an LLM program. And then finally, given the financial investment of an LLM program, you should certainly consider the cost and whether they offer scholarships and aid to international students. When looking into cost, it is important to also factor in the location of the law school. Location could greatly impact your cost of living. A law school in an urban area as opposed to a suburban or rural area may be much more expensive. So just to sum up, it's best to first determine what you want, both academically and personally, and then find a program that meets your needs. So now that you have narrowed down which LLM programs you are interested in, you can begin the application process. This is going to vary by law school and by program, so it's extremely important that you are familiar with individual requirements and that you not assume every school uses the same process. First, some LLM programs accept applications directly, as well as through the Law School Admission Council, or LSAC. Others only accept applications through LSAC. Now, just some brief background on the Law School Admission Council, or LSAC. They are a nonprofit organization that all accredited law schools in the United States belong to. They're probably most well known for they administer the LSAT exam, and they also process applications from law students. So if you apply through LSAC, you will submit all of your application materials directly to them for review. And then LSAC distributes your application materials to the law schools that you have applied to. If a law school accepts applications directly, you will submit your application and supporting documentation directly to that school. For example, the program I work with, direct applicants submit their application electronically through our website and then send the remainder of their materials directly to me for review. There are pros and cons to each application method. For example, if you are applying to multiple law schools, it might make sense to apply through LSAC, since your materials only need to be submitted once. However, LSAC does require additional fees on top of any application fee that individual law schools may require. If you are applying to one or two programs, it may make sense to apply directly if that option is available. One thing you might want to consider is creating an LSAC account, which is free, and then registering for their Candidate Referral Service, or CRS. Law schools then receive your information, and they are able to contact you with additional information on their programs. It's a great way to learn about schools and programs that you may not have otherwise. And creating an LSAC account does not obligate you to then eventually apply through LSAC. So, application requirements. While each program has its own specific application requirements, in general, LLM applicants will be asked to submit the following materials: a completed application form, a resume or CV, a personal statement or essay. Some schools may have a specific prompt that they would like you to write about or outline what they want you to address in the personal statement. So just be cognizant of the fact that certain schools might ask for different things with the personal statement or essay. Official transcripts. Programs are going to ask for your official transcripts from any undergraduate and graduate work. Some programs will accept scanned copies of transcripts for the purpose of evaluating your application. And then if you're admitted, the acceptance would be conditional upon receiving those official transcripts directly from your university or institution. Some schools require that an official transcript be received in order to evaluate your application for admission. So just be aware of what they're actually asking for, and give yourself plenty of time to get your transcripts to the admissions office if they do need that official transcript to make an admissions decision. If you are applying through LSAC, they require that all transcripts, official transcripts, be sent directly to them for evaluation, and they will not accept transcripts from applicants at all. You may also be required to submit a credential evaluation of your first law degree from a credential evaluation service. And this is just a, they take your transcript and they will then evaluate it to see if it's equivalent to a first law degree in the United States. They might also calculate your GPA to see what it would be in the US. Some law schools require this, others do not. Some are able to evaluate transcripts themselves. If you do apply through LSAC, they evaluate your transcripts, and you do not have to pay for an additional service. That's part of the LSAC application fee. You'll also most likely be required to submit letters of recommendation. The number will vary by program. Some will require 1, 2, or 2, possibly 3. They might also specify who your letters of recommendation should come from. Some might ask for 1 academic and 1 professional recommendation. Others don't have any specific requirements for who submits them. One thing to keep in mind when you are asking people to write letters of recommendation for you, you always want to ask somebody who knows you either professionally or academically and can speak to the qualities that make you a strong LLM applicant. Programs will also require applicants to submit evidence of English proficiency, such as a TOEFL or an IELTS score report. Programs will often waive this requirement if your first law degree or your undergraduate degree was conducted in English. So definitely look into whether or not the programs you are interested in will waive the English proficiency requirement, and if it's automatic or if you have to specifically ask for it. Now, admissions tips. As I mentioned before, not all programs have the same application requirements, so you want to make sure that you know the specific requirements for each of the programs you are applying to. Also keep in mind that some LLM programs have multiple entry dates. They may have program start dates in the fall, in the winter, in the spring, and even the summer. So you want to make sure that you check with each institution on when their entry dates are, which entry date works best for you. And then also keep in mind whether or not there are different application deadlines for the different entry dates. You also want to consider that certain application documents may take longer to reach the admissions office or LSAC. For example, letters of recommendation, official transcripts. These are out of your control, so you want to give yourself plenty of time to request these items so that they arrive in time for your application to be admitted by the deadline. You also want to ask programs if they will give you an application fee waiver. Not all programs have an application fee, but many do, and they will also waive that fee if you request a fee waiver. So that's certainly something to keep in mind and could save you a little bit of money during the application process. Now, scholarship opportunities. As I mentioned earlier, an LLM program is a significant financial investment. International students don't qualify for U.S. federal financial aid. However, many LLM programs offer scholarship support for international students. The types of awards and the amount available will vary by institution and program. Some may offer full tuition scholarships for certain students, while others may only offer partial awards. Scholarships may also just cover tuition, while some may help with your living expenses. So it's always important to ask what the scholarship is and what it entails. The process to apply for scholarships will likely vary as well. Be sure to ask if there's a separate scholarship application, or if you will be automatically considered for a scholarship when your application is reviewed for admission. In addition to the individual program websites, resources such as Education USA can assist in researching available scholarship opportunities. So once you're admitted to an LLM program, the next step in the process is most likely applying for a student visa. As you know, studying in the U.S. requires a student visa. For the majority of LLM students, they will need an F1 visa, which is the most common type of student visa. It's intended for full-time academic students pursuing a degree in the U.S. Generally, once you've been admitted to a program, you may start the process by applying for the Form I-20, which is issued by your institution and required to actually apply for your student visa. The process itself, including scheduling the visa interview, can take some time, so plan accordingly. U.S. embassies and consulates are able to issue an F1 entry visa up to 120 days prior to the program start date. However, you will not be able to enter the U.S. on your F1 visa more than 30 days prior to the start of your program. You can also prepare for your visa interview by reviewing the types of questions that you may be asked. I believe you can find those either through the institution that you're attending or through an organization such as Education USA. Now, I'm going to talk briefly about Northeastern itself. Northeastern University is a national research university. It's located in the center of Boston with a traditional American campus and an educational model that integrates academics with experiential learning. The LLM program itself is enrolls both international and domestic law graduates. It provides a flexible curriculum where students you can either customize your curriculum to meet your particular goals, whether that's gaining expertise in a particular area or qualifying for a U.S. bar exam. What sets Northeastern Law apart, though, is the commitment to experiential legal education. We believe the best way to learn the law is by practicing it. So to gain practical experience, our LLM students have the chance to work full-time in a professional legal setting through the Signature Co-op program. Our students have completed co-op placements with law firms, NGOs, corporate legal departments, community organizations, and with judges, both in the U.S. and abroad. We have hundreds of established co-op employers, and students can also create their own co-op. We also offer a comprehensive professional development program, which provides individual counseling, specialized coursework, and hands-on workshops. The program itself averages about 25 to 30 students a year. And the smaller program size allows for individual academic advising and professional development counseling. So this brings me to the end of my presentation.